There are two simple goals to run a successful suckler herd. One, to ensure the cow produces a calf every year, and two, to ensure that she produces a top quality calf that's going to attract a premium price in the marketplace. These two goals are key to ensuring that you achieve a high level of output and ultimately a high level of profitability. In this piece, we're going to be looking at how you can beef up your breeding. So, with two key objectives. One, the cow produces a calf every year, and two, she produces a top quality calf at weaning. Having the right type of suckler cow is critical. For me, the ideal commercial suckler cow should bear a similar resemblance to a Dublin Buss. If we look at this cow here, like the Dublin Buss, she's got a good deep body, she's got a good square back, essential for ease of calving, and a good wide pelvis. And again, similar to the Dublin Buss, she's got a good wide back end. She's a nice tidy udder, and as we can see, she's good on her feet. We're now going to go and meet the owner of this cow, Arthur Braden from Progressive Genetics. Arthur, how are things?
Justin, how are you?
This guy's the proof of the pudding, Arthur, as they say.
Exactly, Justin, yeah. Like he's a Belgian blue calf from a Limousin cow. The cow is bred by Epson, going back to a ULE cow out of a Seminole cross. That's a DEP calf, and as you said, Justin, he's the proof of the pudding.
He certainly is. Arthur, I gave my views earlier on the ideal suckler cow, and I know suckler cow breeding, everybody has their own views and their own objectives. Would you just maybe run through this here cow, like what you think is the ideal suckler cow, or what you're looking for in a cow?
Well, I guess by extension of what you said, Justin, she's a good average run-of-the-mill cow, good length to her, nice deep body, good bone under her, plenty of milk, as you can see. Obviously, she reared an excellent calf last year, nice bit of length to her, as I said, plenty of milk underneath. So to me, she's a good average run-of-the-mill commercial cow. Given the current trends with the Italian markets, it's taken up a lot of our live exports at the moment, and I think he's an excellent specimen that's suitable for the Italian trade.
What would it take to buy him, Arthur?
A hell of a lot of money, Justin.
Well, I hope you get it. Thank you very much, Arthur. Obviously, having the right type of suckler cow starts with selecting the right type of heifer. For me to give prescriptive advice on which type of heifer you should be selecting for breeding is difficult because it will depend on your own farming system. Arthur, this heifer you have here, I suppose it comes back to what we looked at earlier on in terms of the red Limousin. A good square heifer. Maybe if you just want to run through a few of the pros and cons with this lady.
Well, she's bred by, again, another maternal tested bull, Justin, a French bull called Heifers, who we had available through Progressive Genetics for many years there. A bull that was, a trait he had was given to improve stature. Now, her mother, unfortunately, is no longer on the farm. She was an old short-horn cow, and she was a very low little cow. This heifer here has just gone 2 years old. She's calving in October. So as you can see, like the bull has certainly done, he does what it says on the tin, I believe.
It'd be the type of heifer you'd be recommending, I suppose, to a part-time suckler cow farmer that's going to be going to his work at 7 o'clock in the morning and maybe not back to the evening.
Well, certainly, Justin, I would say you're correct in what you're saying. As you said, a good deep heifer, a nice sweep of the rib, good plates on her, good quarters. The Limousin is a very popular maternal dam, so I would certainly agree with what you're saying in your assessment of her.
Yeah. We'll take a look at the next lineup, Arthur.
No problem, Justin.
I think this is what you would class, Arthur, as the deluxe Dublin Buss.
Well, certainly in the double-decker range, anyway, Justin.
I suppose, Arthur, one key thing I get across is, look, we can see this heifer, a good square back end, but this one here now, much more muscly, probably what a lot of farmers or some farmers are considering going down to produce for the live export market. But I suppose it's important to point out the pros and cons of both, Arthur, or both routes. Maybe you just want to take us through this heifer first of all, and her breeding.
Well, she's by the Belgian blue bull we have, Joker, JOK is his AI code, and she's from a black Limousin cow, this one, Justin. Again, like you said, the pros and cons of both heifers, they're as different as night and day, really. Yeah. The blue one that we're discussing at the moment, she'd be classified as very extreme with muscle in the back end, which we'll see in a minute. And there's a major fear factor out there, Justin, from producing calves from heifers like this, and indeed cows like this going forward. But I think when they're crossed with the proper sire, that it's not a major issue at all, and you will result in ENU grade calves from stock like this.
And I suppose, Arthur, it's important to point out as well, the management of the heifer and the cow in the run-up to calving is important. We've covered it earlier on in the section of calving the cow, but it's important that you have the cow in the right condition score and the heifer in the right condition score coming up to calving. From a suckler cow, from a commercial suckler cow point of view, is she a heifer you would be recommending for a part-time farmer to bull?
Certainly not, Justin. You can have major difficulties in calving the like of this stock here because of the extreme muscle. They're going to pass on the blue gene to their offspring, and as a result, you can come into very, very severe calving problems. But with the proper care and management and proper sire selection, it can be achieved. But again, you know, if you're going to be away and you're expecting to get a cow calved when you come home.
At the end of the day too, Arthur, selecting good quality AI bull or stock bull or whichever, like that there heifer has the potential to produce, as we've seen with the red cow previously, that heifer has the potential to produce a U-grade weanling as well, the red one.
Oh, certainly, Justin. But again, you know, we pointed out the factors of the extreme in the muscle. On the red one now going forward after her first calving, I would be inclined maybe to use an easy calving blue bull on her. Whereas on the blue one, I would certainly go down the road of an easy calving limousine.
Yeah.
Perhaps Highlander on her the first time round. She's been recently AI'd only 2 weeks ago to Highlander.
Right. So we've seen two different types of heifers here for keeping for breeding. You've basically got the good wide heifer come back to the Dublin bus, and you've got that more extreme heifer, as Arthur quite rightly said, will produce your U and E grading calf. So it's important that you identify what market that you're going for and the constraints of your own system. If you're a part-time farmer, going out at 7 o'clock in the morning to your work and not back to 7 o'clock in the evening, well then I would certainly question the merits of going down that extreme muscle route. This red limousine heifer, 9 times out of 10, God willing, she'll have a calf, she'll calve the calf herself, you can let her off to do the work herself. So whenever you're selecting the breeding heifer, know the constraints of your own farm. Again, docility is a very important role. Both these heifers are exceptionally quiet, and that is key. As we discussed at the start of this piece, the goal is to have a cow per calf per year. Sounds simple, it's not that easy. Basically what you're looking for, if your cow calves down on the 1st of January one year, you want her to have another calf by the 1st of January the following year. The interval between calving of 365 days. Unfortunately, on an awful lot of farms, the calving interval is running at 400 to 420 days. Now, to sum that up in simple terms, a farm with 40 suckler cows with an average calving interval of 400 days is basically losing €2,000 per annum. That's a lot of money. There are 3 key areas. 1, the condition score of the cow at calving. You want your cow calving down at a condition score of 2.5 to 3. Secondly, those late calving cows. Research has shown that by separating the calf around 4 weeks post-calving and allowing them to suckle once or twice a day will significantly reduce the length of time by up to 20 days that the cow will come back and heat. It's quite labour intensive. Tightening your calving pattern next spring will significantly reduce your workload, and it will be time well spent. And finally, the management of the stock bull. The first thing to do is to carry out a visual assessment of the bull. And again, this should be done well in advance of the start of the breeding season in case there are any problems. The 2 key areas you want to focus on are 1, condition. You want your bull to be fit and not fat. You don't want them too fat, but you don't want them too thin. The second area is feet. The bull must have 4 good feet under him if he's going to jump up and down and mount the cows. If the feet are sore, he won't mount the cows and you'll run into a fertility issue. If there is any doubt after carrying out the visual inspection, you should contact your vet to have a veterinary examination carried out as soon as possible.
First thing I would do is carry out a visual examination of the bull. First of all, a general look at his appearance, his condition and his coat, and then I'd start at the ground and work my way up. First of all, he needs 4 good feet.
I suppose, Charlie, you mentioned the feet there. Maybe I suppose you make a comment on this guy's feet?
Yes. His front feet, as you can see, are becoming a bit overgrown and overriding one another, so he would need pairing, but not now in the middle of the breeding season. He's not lame, so I'd leave him until the autumn.
Yeah.
To address that
you would pair his feet in the autumn, where I suppose you're not going to be using them for another 2, 3 or 4 months again, and give them time to recover.
Precisely.
So
yeah.
making sure the rest of the apparatus are in order is important as well.
Absolutely essential that he has a good pair of testicles. Should hang down on a warm day like this. Should hang down well clear of the body and have a clearly defined neck. It's important to examine the rod, first of all, from any deviations off a straight line, you know, where it might suggest that at some stage he ruptured his penis. Also, the prepuce, you know, you don't want a lead with the prepuce prolapsed, you know, where it's visible.
Yeah, yeah.
Gets dried, gets injured, gets
Sore.
diseased. Yes, exactly.
The back is also important
back
for when
is
the bull is
also
mounted.
Important, exactly. Bulls with any kinds of back injuries are unable to mount or experience pain, so it's important, all right, that.
And you would feel along the back here, Charlie, if you can feel any tenderness or...
Precisely, yeah. Exactly.
I suppose, Charlie, we've done the visual assessment, we've looked at the veterinary side, but it's still not foolproof. It's important to look at how the bull is performing out in the field.
Libido is very important, so I think when you get a new bull, rather than just let him off out, you should introduce him to a cow that's on heat to see that he is able to perform his duties.
Yeah, and I suppose even like just because a bull worked last year, Charlie, it's no guarantee that he's going to work again the following year.
Absolutely none. I had one only the other day, was fertile last year. First thing I noticed about him this year is very small testicles. You'd almost imagine he was castrated. He's totally lost his libido, unable to get an erection, and totally uninterested in cows.
In a bid to improve the quality of the weanlings that they are producing, many suckler farmers are now looking at going down the route of AI. However, it is important that they understand the concept of AI in order that they avoid the pitfalls. What do you feel are the pitfalls, or what are the main pitfalls of AI?
Well, the main pitfalls I could see in using AI, certainly to start off with, would be part-time farming. Part-time farming has created a major obstacle towards the use of AI. That, coupled together with heat detection, or inadequate heat detection, I should say, the lack of heat detection, is another major factor. Help on the rural farm at the moment is also a big obstacle.
Mm-hmm. What tips can you give them for overcoming them pitfalls? And you specifically mentioned heat detection there.
Well, certainly, every problem has a solution, and the pitfalls facing AI definitely have solutions. There's many heat detections out there now, heat detection aids, both new and old. You have the Estrus alert badge, which goes on the tail of the cow. It works kind of like a scratch card. You're probably familiar with them, Justin. Tail paint is also very successful, has been used for many years in both suckler and dairy herds. Also, you have chin ball on a vasectomized bull, which is a very, very successful method of heat detection also. But basically, to get to the nuts and bolts of it, even running a strong bull calf with cows for the season is a successful way of picking up cows. To use AI successfully from the farmer's point of view, he has to cooperate fully with the inseminator. The main thing is get their calls in on time. Never ever, I would never advise a farmer to leave a single cow in, identify the animal clearly, that's for AI, but also leave a companion cow with her there. Cows today have become a little harder to handle than they were in the past. Have a good crush, have good facilities for the inseminator when he arrives, because I'd say 90% of the inseminations are done by the inseminator alone. Right, we're going to AI this cow now. She's been put in position and restrained properly for AI. So we just remove the tail to the right hand side, hold the tail off, clean the vulva with a paper towel to remove any dirt or contaminants that may be on it, and lubricate over the rectum, and slowly with the hand in a cone shape putting the AI gun through. We now put the AI gun in till we're through the cervix and right up to the body of the uterus, where we are now, and slowly press the plunger on the AI gun and deposit the semen in the body of the uterus. Release the animal from her constraint.
Whether you decide to go down the route of AI or use a pedigree stock bull, it's important that you utilise top genetics. The new Eurostar ratings are available to identify the strengths and weaknesses of various bulls. Basically, the bulls are rated for various traits on a star rating of 1 to 5. 5 stars being excellent, 1 star being poor. As we can see here, this bull here is excellent on calving traits. He's an easy calving Charolais bull. Wean and export, he is 4, so he's still very good, but not excellent. And beef carcass, he is excellent. If you look at docility, he's not the kind of guy that you'd get in out of the field very handy. He's poor on docility. Overall, all these traits are then encompassed in what's classified as the overall suckler beef value. And this bull here, a very good quality bull, has a 5-star value for overall suckler beef value. Not only do the Eurostar ratings rank the bulls within breed, but they also rank them across all breeds. And why that is important, as you can see here, this bull here is a 5-star within the Charolais breed, but if you go across here to the right, when we compare him to Hereford and Angus and other easier calving breeds, he's actually only a 3-star. So, beefing up breeding, what's it all about? Well, basically it all starts with having the right type of suckler cow, and the right type of suckler cow will depend on which market you're producing. Okay, yes, if you're looking at that live export market, €3 a kilo, well then perhaps you will bull the likes of the blue heifer we seen earlier. But what I would warn you is, know your constraints. Secondly, producing top quality. And firstly, top quality isn't all about well-muscled weanlings, heavy continental cattle. It's a top quality animal is an animal that will attract a premium price in whichever market you sell it. That can either be the live export market, the domestic market, or niche markets such as Hereford and Angus.